I must have seen the original The Accountant drunk, because when I saw it again on my flight back from the Philippines, which, by the way, you have 19 hours to kill. So I watched the John Wick series. I got caught up on Hogwarts, and then The Accountant. And there wasn't that much to say. I'm like, "Ah, okay, I'll watch The Accountant." And it was way better than what I remember. I didn't hate it. It was good, but then I like that. That was pushing an excellent movie. That was a very, very good movie, almost excellent. And so, we all like to pick on Vlad Elkins, and I am practically the president and CEO of H&R Block with all the stock that I own and at all 50 shares. I'm invested in the industry. And so then when The Accountant 2 was coming out, I was like, yeah, that was logically set up for a sequel. It only took you 8 years to do it. That's all right. I'm sure Ben Affleck and the other actor will look young in another 8 years. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see this. And a lot of people don't know it's out because I don't know what you people do with marketing anymore. For those of you who, I think it's Warner Brothers, right? You guys are the one who did you guys got all those the DEI and ESG and touchy-feely types, right? Because that's why you guys came out with what, Suicide Squad, where you thought it was a good idea to kill Batman video game. No, it wasn't that. Was it? You came up with all these horrible games. Anyway, so you did a bunch of woke shit. And this was a pretty good movie. So obviously those people were in charge of making it, but your marketing was shit. Because let me ask you, boys and girls who don't work in Hollywood, you don't have your degree in marketing. Their launch date was April 25th. Now, it's a movie called The Accountant, right? I'll give you a hint. He's a tax accountant. When do you think would be a great day to open it, launch it, and get a whole bunch of free fucking advertising? I'll give you another hint. I know you Hollywood types are truly some of the stupidest people. You could employ the big four, say, hey, we'll give you some free tickets if you kind of mention us a little bit. Like, on like once you close up shop, on what date do you think would make a great day to launch the movie The Accountant and get a bunch of accounting firms to like go along with you? That's right, normal people. April 15th, tax day. That would have been fun, but no, they said, let's do it 10 days later. I don't know what Karens you're employing or what truly stupid, but not my movie. What's the box office? It's been out for a while. Let me see how well is it doing. It's been out for a couple weeks. 16 hours ago. Surpasses expectations with 65 million global box office. That's it? Dude, shitty Marvel movies get more than that. 24. You had 24 million? Oh, this is horrible. Of course, Economic Times of India has a zillion freaking pop-ups. Dude, India, what's going on, man? Why can't you guys just clean up your act a little bit? Why does everything have to be scammy? Why does it have to be? Why can't you just aim to be a first world nation and knock it off with the bullshit? You don't have to be yahoo.com. You can paint a path. It goes, yeah, you did no marketing. The first movie was really good. I don't know what your budget is. Probably going to lose money on it because you didn't advertise it on April 15th because you guys are idiots. But I knew it was coming out, and I liked the first one. I was like, I'll go see this one in the movie theater. And I just got back from it. And the best way to describe this movie is it's like you're a kid and you're watching like one of them old-timey ice cream parlor guys with the hat and the red and white striped smock putting together the greatest chocolate sundae you ever saw, right? And then at the very end, he takes a big old rat turd, just pops it on there instead of a cherry. You're like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Really? Again, I know Hollywood. I do mean this. Hollywood people are truly dumb. There used to be like Oliver Stone. I don't like the guy that much, but there's no doubt the man was forged and had real experience. He was in Vietnam, correct? He was there. And you see quality movies come out of that man because he lived an experience. You guys are a bunch of pussies, a bunch of soft, no calloused hands pussies who never went through a problem in your life. Because you built up this, what was pushing to be an excellent movie, and then you ruin it with the final fight scene. And I'll get to that later. So the plot goes like this. It's 8 years later because that's when you guys got your act together. And you're serious? That guy gets killed because he was in the previous one. And then they got to go enlist the help of the accountant, Ben Affleck's character. And so a gal who's with Vincent, and Chad's not going to like that. Vincent's the good people on this one. Chad doesn't like Vincent. Nobody likes Vincent. They're painted as the good guy, and there's a good girl in this one. So this then loops in the accountant into a new mission, and he thinks he needs his brother's help. His brother, who is from the first movie, and his brother hasn't heard from him in 8 years, even though at the end of the first movie, that's how the end finale is. They find out that they're brothers. The guy's been looking for 20 years. And because Ben Affleck is an autistic character, it doesn't dawn on him to call his brother for 8 years. And his brother is a complete opposite. He's more like manic. And he's pissed off and he's angry all the time. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this guy. And he is also a hired killer assassin type, but he's running operations out in Europe. So his brother asks him, hey, do you want to come to LA and help me? And it's a great scene, just a great scene where, several scenes where, albeit he's a type A brother, he's not autistic. He picks up on human innuendo. There's a little bit of Dave Bautista's character in Guardians of the Galaxy, where he's too literal. Ben Affleck doesn't catch the nuances. He doesn't catch the humanity. And his brother has no family. He's like, why didn't you call? Where the hell have you been? And he helps Ben Affleck's character solve this case, for lack of a better word. And a lot of the movie is just these two not even rekindling, but the younger brother trying to rekindle somewhat of a normal relationship, to have somebody in his life, and Ben Affleck is too autistic to do that. And that's what's called character building. You actually care about these people. And that was the middle 3/5 of the movie, and it was good. First fifth was brilliant. Ben had the accountant goes to a speed dating. Oh God. And it was actually red pill. It was actually red pill. I was fucking rolling on the floor. It was so well done. It was so well done. So you got a great intro, plot set up. Bad guys are it moved a little fast for me. I was a little confused. Like, who's that person? Oh yeah, that's the other person. He gets his brother in there. They go through a bunch of there's a great scene where they're just sitting on top of the movie. That scene alone is worth seeing the movie. Is where they're sitting on top of his trailer in the trailer park, and they're just talking. That scene alone is worth it. But that was the movie for me, and it was on its way to be an excellent movie. And then the rat turd, I'm not going to ruin much of anything for you, is the final fight scene where they got to go to Juarez to save the kids. And by the way, I didn't spoil anything because you're going to be a little confused. Like, wait, what's going on? The bad guy was done shit. Like, you're like, what's the bad guy's motivations again? Oh, no, we got to go to Juarez to save some kids. And these are the only ones that could do it. I don't know if they Jump the border. The last fifth, that final fight scene was horrible. And that's why you idiots in Hollywood need to be fired. And you're stupid and you're idiots and you're morons. And I've never been in battle. I've never gotten a gunfight. But this was so stupid how this gunfight worked. It was like Rambo. They drive in on the bad guy's compound in a truck. There's 50 bad guys firing fully automatic weapons at 2 guys in a non-armored truck. They don't take a single fucking hit. They're throwing grenades at this truck. They're shooting it up with machine gun bullets. Neither of the 2 guys get a hit. And then just Hollywood would do really well to hire those people that you hate so much, and that would be American soldiers, combat veterans. Maybe you could be like the baby boomers and piss in bags and throw it on them like they did the Vietnam veterans, but if you could set aside your hatred for them and not call them baby killers just yet, maybe you could consult with them and say, because the accountant and his brother are professional assassins. Dude, I would come up with better strategy than that. I want to just go a suicide run in there and get my ass shot up. Just me. I'd be like sitting there with sniper rifles and like, okay, we're going to sit here far away from the machine gun fire. I'm going to have some camo and we're going to just start lobbing 50 caliber machine gun bullets or 30-06. Take them out. Take out the driver, shoot the engine of the bus so the kids don't go anywhere. It's easy to identify the kids from the bad guys because the kids are little kids. Shoot the big ones. That's it. And they just go in there and then they duke it out with 50 bad guys. And one guy takes a hit, the good guy, but he's still fine. And then they drive down and they just, I don't know why they're not shooting at him right away. And that's the rat turd. That's where the suspension of disbelief just ends. Because now I'm out of it and I can't believe that none of those bullets hit. 1,000 bullets, all in that, not a single one hit them. Oh, they're hitting them in a bouncing truck through window. They're hitting every single one of their marks. They're just fine. It's like Nick Cage in Thin Red Line. Is that it? Or Wind Talkers. I'm sorry, Wind Talkers. It was a World War II Japanese theater. And the Japanese are firing, 100 Japanese people firing down on an American shoulder. I think someone maybe got a graze on his chin. Out of the thousands of bullets. And then like 5 Japanese guys come running down a hill and all Nicolas Cage has to do is spray. Don't even look. Just spray it with a Thompson machine gun. Hits every single one of the Japanese soldiers in the heart. Just brilliant. And I know Hollywood just doesn't give a fuck about consistency, but that's where you really... Your fight scenes, look, knock it off with the 110-pound waif beating the shit out of the Russian mafia. Just knock that shit off. Can you dude, there's kids who play Call of Duty that have a better strategy before they go, raid a fort on the internet. And that was it. It could have been an excellent movie. You could have had great advertising with April 5th. You didn't. You could have done something like, I don't know, you could have worked with H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt. After you file your taxes this April 15th, get a discount ticket at H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt to go see The Accountant 2. You're gonna, if you guys, let's call it 80 million, you're gonna take 40 million. What was the budget? Hang on, let me look up the budget. Budget The Accountant 2. And it's sad because I think it would make a good series, but you can't now. Okay, you had $80 million budget. Oh, you guys are going to lose so much freaking money. You didn't advertise it. That's for certain. What, $10 million? I didn't see any ads for it whatsoever. So I swore I pressed that. Okay. I can't wait to get Linux. So you got 90 million in expenses. You need to double that. You need to make 180 million to break even. Did I do that right? 80 million, 90 million. You only get half. So 180 million of your two. Yeah, you got to get 180 million. This isn't this the do you need really do you care? It's a serious question. Do any of you care to make money? And if you do you want to hire me? Like, I'm cheaper than the consultants you're paying right now, and I'm obviously better. Do you what don't what you could have what gets me about this movie is you're like mostly there. You're 80% there, and then you just screwed the pooch with an impossible gunfight. And now like, yeah, would I recommend you go see it in the theater? Here's what I recommend. Here's what I recommend. I do recommend you go see it in the theater. But no kidding. Once they start going to Juarez, like once they start driving the truck out in the desert, and you're like, how are they? Is there a border guard or what's going on? You can leave. You can leave. You're going to be pained by how bad that gunfight was. It was obviously made by liberal arts majors from college who probably don't even know how to fire a gun. Probably never fired a gun except for Alec Baldwin. Hey, because he accidentally manslaughtered that person. Why don't you hire Alec Baldwin to do your gunfight scenes? He's really good at it. Left this piece of shit. So there you go. Another. Hear me out on this. Any kind of creation, you can't pass with a D or a C. There's no pass. You either get an A or you don't. Because just one thing can ruin it, right? You put in the wrong spice, you put on the wrong sauce, you put in the wrong, just one. Can you guys, I'm not asking for perfect, but can you make sure you do it right? Can you make sure, hey, we got a gun scene coming up. You know what everyone else has done for the past 30 years? Impossible fucking gun. I'm not saying it's got to have the realism of Saving Private Ryan, but like John Wick. Even John Wick. John Wick is more believable than the fucking shit you just threw up there. Because you get like, yeah, if I trained enough, I could do that. If I was trained like John Wick, I could do that. It was more believable. You just drove that truck right up, and everyone's have my hand, not a scratch. And yeah, it's okay. Can you, in other words, for an extra 0.5% of effort on your part, and maybe a little bit more of a budget, like not big, just a little bit more to get the fight scene right. Or like, what would sane norm? What would go hire the Navy SEAL? How would you approach this? Oh, we do this. Okay, cool, and we're gonna recreate that. There you go. That would have made this an excellent move. I say, yeah, and the ending's great. No, it went to horse shit. There's a big rat turd on top of this otherwise great chocolate sundae they almost made. And so I are sad. That's it. Just want to share that. I would say it's worth going in a theater, and I'm not joking. Leave before the assault on Juarez. You're not missing anything. You're just not. Let me save you 15, 20 minutes. And a fucking cat. That was like, I'm like, okay, that's when the drugs were kicking in. Oh, we just find a cat, huh? Do we now? A cat. It's just there. Sure. Why don't we break out into a song and dance number while we're at it? What? Are we gonna we're just gonna pick on this bag, huh? Not my bag. I don't care. Iron Horse, is that a designer bag you got there behind you? No, I don't. Hang on, let me see what it is. I don't know. What is this? Whose is it? I don't know what brand it is. SBS? What? Isn't there supposed to be a logo on this thing? What the fuck? I don't even think there's a logo on this. Watch some girl know what this is. It's the stripy bag. The stripy bag. This isn't where I sleep, by the way. This is just where I record. I'm on it. $2. Thanks for not 86ing me. Why would I have 86'd you? Like, I mean, I don't think I'd remember that. I'm on it. I didn't. Why? If I go to a live stream, are you acting like a moron? Vlad Elkins is in the chat room. Yeah, I'm on it. I don't know. You haven't run afoul of me. You didn't do anything. You don't have to apologize for something you didn't do. Iron Horse Review is $5. Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Saul Goodman came out in 2021. Never heard of it. Saw it last night. Action and some laughs. Accountant versus Russian mob. I saw that. Isn't it starting in a bus, right? And he gets fucked up fighting 5 guys or 3 guys. Like, I believe that. Iron Horse Reviews, $2. Unlimited ammo movie, but not trying to be serious. Yeah. My Truth, The King. All I know is The Accountant 3, Affleck. Better team up with Sicaro 3, Del Toro down in Juarez and make heads keep rolling. Cancel out those debts and credits. I don't think The Accountant, it's dead. It's a dead brand. Look, I'm going to explain it to Hollywood this way. It's like American Women. The hurdle is not that high for you to go find yourself a quality guy right now. You just have to be thin, nice, no tattoos, and other people's kids, right? You got to have an original plot, some decent acting, a good plot. Make sure the scenes are tight and good and they make sense. Don't knock anybody out of their suspension of disbelief. We're not expecting Star Wars. We're not expecting Indiana Jones. We're expecting Payback with Mel Gibson. We'd be thrilled. We would be thrilled with the Tropic Thunder. We'd be happy with a Die Hard 2. Can you do that? Femboy Fantasia, $2. Do you need to borrow my phone book at the theater? Hey, Femboy, you getting in on the jokes, man. You and Dre getting on the jokes. I think you two make a great couple. I think Dre and you I think you guys would make a beautiful couple. That's all right. There it is. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.